Basketball season may be over, but there have already been some changes to the IU roster.
The spring series marks the start of April in Bloomington. Find out who topped the qualification board this weekend.
Spring sports are now in full swing. Hopefully this means the nice weather is finally here to stay. More updates coming on this edition of Hoosier Sports Night. Hello and welcome to a brand new edition of Hoosier Sports Night. I'm Brendan Farkas, and I'm joined with Kelly Morgan.
Yeah, Brandon, spring's training has started for IU men's football team, but more importantly, Pro Day has happened this week. Stay tuned for details.
That's right, but for now we'll be talking about IU basketball. Last week, the Indiana men's basketball team announced that Stanford Robinson and Max Hotzel requested a release from their athletic scholarship to transfer. Both players are transferring from IU in hopes of playing for a program closer to their hometown and receiving more playing time.
IU football began spring practices on March 26th, but some familiar faces from last year's team were back in Bloomington Monday to showcase skills to over 20 NFL scouts. Here is what they had to say about their Pro Day performances.
Went out there and gave it my all. At the end of the day, I know I had great coaching for the last few months, and I just want to thank Coach Hill and the people that I've been working out with, and just happy to be here right now.
I think I did real good. I've been training since I graduated in December. I left here at 244. I weighed in at 224. I lost 20 pounds.
Well, for all of us. Everybody ran good times, better times than we was practicing, so that's a pretty good jump. Everybody had fun too, so I think one of my last times really going out there and running with my bros, so just try to make sure I have fun, make sure we all have fun, and times will tell themselves later. So.
I did pretty good. Slow start on the first 40. Got that together the second 40. I feel like everything went well. Ball drills, L-cone, shuttle.
After hours of delay due to poor track conditions at qualifications on Saturday, Wright Cycling claimed the pole position for the 65th running of the men's Little 500 with a time of 2 minutes and 23.10 seconds. Sigma Chi Epsilon and Evan Scholar finished second and third in the men's qualifications to round out the first row for race day. On the women's side, Melanzana claimed the top spot in a time of 2 minutes and 41.46 seconds. Gamma Phi Beta and Kappa Alpha Theta grabbed the other two positions in the starting row for the women's race.
The Indiana men's swimming and diving team wrapped up a 12th place finish at the NCAA Men's Swimming and Diving Championships in Iowa City on Saturday. The Hoosiers were led by freshman diver James Conner, who scored top 4 in 3 events, including a second place finish in the platform dive. The women's swimming and diving team concluded their season with a 10th place finish at the NCAA Women's Championships. The team was propelled by freshman Jessica Parado, who won the city platform diving competition.
The Indiana men's baseball team lost 3 consecutive games over the weekend in a series at Iowa. The Hoosiers' best game of the series came on Sunday as the team was able to get 13 hits and 6 runs, but it wasn't quite enough as the Hawkeyes scored 10 times. Earlier this evening, the Hoosiers stopped their 3-game losing streak in a close win over the Kentucky Wildcats.
The softball team was swept by the Illinois Fighting Illini on the road over the weekend. Freshman Taylor Uden led the Hoosiers in RBIs with 9 over the 3-game stretch. The team returns home for the next 5 games, starting with Maryland on Friday for a weekend series. We are now joined by Josie Janovicius for this week's Hoosier Hot Takes.
Hi, thanks guys. If you don't remember, Hot Takes give a topic of debate. You guys choose a side, and I choose a winner. So, obviously, big event this weekend, Final Four in Indianapolis, just about an hour north of here. So, let's get your guys' Final Four picks.
I think Wisconsin has a good shot at beating Kentucky. I know it'd be a huge deal. It would be getting history with Wisconsin being able to defeat the Wildcats. But I really like Frank Kaminsky and what he's done all season, and I really just have became a fan of Bo Ryan. So I'm going with Wisconsin there. I'll go with Duke on the other side of the bracket, and then I'm going to have Wisconsin win there. I just think if they can get past UK, I think Duke won't be too big of a struggle.
I'm going to have to go with, I think Duke has a pretty good chance. I mean, based on their track record and their coach, Mike Krzyzewski, I think that they have a good chance. And I'm going to have to go with Kentucky as well. I believe that with their athleticism and shooting ability, I mean, not to mention their outstanding height. They have 3 players who are 7 foot, which is unheard of. So, yeah, I'm going to have to go with Kentucky.
Okay, well, I'm gonna give this one to Brandon because watching Wisconsin, I don't know, I'm feeling the Badgers as well. I mean, it'd be great to see them upset Kentucky just because just the excitement in that game. I think would really add to it. So Brandon, you get the first one. So second one. So there's been IU basketball. We talked about the news earlier in the show. So do you guys think there's going to be more changes this offseason? Will we see more transfers? Will we even see a coaching change? What do you guys think is next for IU basketball?
I know that Tom Crean is in the hot seat right now, but I do not think there will be a coaching change. Maybe next season if all goes wrong and he does not prove his competitiveness and excellence. And I don't think there will be many transfers, but since Stanford Robinson and Max Hotzel left, maybe some transfers in.
Yeah, I think Tom Crean will be here for at least one more season. I think Fred Glass has made that pretty clear that he's here to stay at least for the next year. I think at least 1 or 2 more players will transfer out in order for us to get a recruit looking for Thomas Bryant, hopefully. So I hate to say it, but Tim Priller may be gone. Jeremiah Aprils as well are 2 hot names. I know they were being brought up before the first 2 transfers we saw last week. So I'd expect at least 1, if not 2 more transfers, but I think we could get a transfer and then another top recruit in Thomas Bryant.
Well, this one I'm also going to have to give to Brandon because I do agree. I think we'll see 1 or more roster changes with losing players before the season is over. And finally, our final topic, opening day for Major League Baseball is this Monday. And it's a long season for Major League Baseball, but we have to do it. Here, what are your way too early World Series picks?
Well, I think it's kind of too early to tell and kind of up in the air. But I'm going to have to go with the Dodgers and the Red Sox. Based on past track records, I think that they both have a good chance. The Dodgers with Clayton Kershaw, they have a great pitching, and I think they have ability to go all the way.
Yeah, I like the Nationals getting their first World Series appearance coming out of the NL there, and then I like the Los Angeles Angels coming out from the NL or from the AL. So that'd be a really interesting because you got 2 really young superstars there, and then the Washington Nationals also added Mike Scherzer. So I think their pitching looks really good. I'm going to have to give the Nationals the nod to win the World Series there.
Okay, well that one, you know what? We'll just call that one a tie. You know what? It is way too early to be making World Series predictions. So, Brandon, you are still the winner at 2 to whatever. Tie, whatever, 2 and 0 and 1. That's how they do it in hockey, I think. So.
Well, that does it for this edition of Hoosier Sports Night. Be sure to continue watching for our coverage as we will have plenty of spring sports, including a lot of Little 5 coverage. So for Josie Janavicius and Kelly Morgan, I'm Brennan Farkas. Thanks for watching.